Hi, we're going to talk about guides today. A lot of mediums you probably hear talk about that their guides help them with their readings. And, some people use guides and some people don't. I tend more to use my angels than guides. I do know that I do have a guide that's with me that often helps me. But I'm not 100% sure if he directs my readings. I really do feel like my readings are spirit centered. And what that means is that I talk directly to the spirits. I talk to them as if they're sitting in the room with me, and I'm having a conversation and I'm asking them questions. So they call that spirit centered mediumship. Where if you're doing client centered mediumship, you're talking to your client about the spirit. So it's a little bit different. You're not directly talking to the spirit, you're talking to the spirit through your client. So you have to, figure out what feels best to you. Some people like to talk to their client more. And try to figure out who's around them. But I like to directly link with the spirit. A lot of times the spirits will come even before the client comes. And I used to have that all the time. I would get all the information before the reading. I would have like a page of information. And then when the client got there, I would just be sitting there and kind of saying, well, I got this and I got that and I got this and I got that. And then I asked spirit to stop doing that because I felt like, well, first I felt like it was cheating when it totally isn't cheating. I think I was just more comfortable connecting to spirit. It was just easier for me. So it wasn't cheating. But I like to have the client there with me because as I'm talking to the spirit, I can figure out if I'm on track or off track. So sometimes if it's just me and the spirit, I could go in a direction that might be a little bit off track. So I've now asked spirit, can you just wait till the client gets here and then we'll talk then. So when my client sits down, I am still talking to the spirit primarily. It's almost like I'm kind of ignoring the client a little bit because I just really want to talk to the spirit. And I find that makes my readings really strong. You have to figure out what works better for you, whether you want to make it client-centered mediumship or spirit-centered mediumship. I prefer spirit-centered because I feel like I have to give them all my attention and I have to really, be there for them. And I do feel like, when a spirit comes to me, I'm meeting a new person and I want to take the time to get to know them and welcome them and ask them questions. And I just feel that's really, really important. And the more that you can see a spirit as anyone else that you would meet in life, but they're just in spirit form, the easier this is for you. So don't lose sight of that just because you're getting signs and symbols doesn't mean that there isn't a whole energy there, a whole person. So make sure that you take a look at this difference between spirit-centered mediumship and client-centered mediumship. I think it's a really important distinction, and it really does help in your readings. And I know my preference. You have to kind of figure out what your preference is. So as far as the guides go, if you're meditating regularly and you're talking to the angels regularly, eventually you're probably going to sense some other people around you. They kind of pop in. I know I've had this one guide since I've been a teenager. I've just always seen him around, and he's always helped me and encouraged me. And, so guides are helpful, but it's not like you need to know who your guide is to do mediumship. You just don't. Eventually, you're going to know who's around you in spirit. And for me, it's angels, it's my guides, it's family members, animals, all kinds of different angels. So you will really get to know who's around you. So don't get hung up on the guide thing. It's not as important as some people make it out to be. So I wouldn't worry about that. If you know who your guide is already, that's great. More power to you. You can use your guide to help you. But I talk directly to spirit. Like I'll tell them, these are my questions. This is what I want. This is what I expect. You can even assign certain sides. Like if you want spirit to tell you who's on the mom side or the dad side, you can ask spirit to put anybody that's on the mom side of the family to your left, and anybody that's on the dad side of the family to your right, so that every time you know if a spirit comes in and it feels to your left or right, you know, okay, this is a woman I'm getting. It's a mom energy, and it's on the mom side. So this way, it kind of helps with that family tree thing to have these systems kind of in place. So mom's side is to my left, and dad's side is to my right. And now it's funny, I'll get pulled. Like I'll just feel a pull. If I ask, okay, that's the mom on whose side? Is it mom or dad's? And I'll feel a pull to one side or the other. So, you'll get the hang of that. But ask spirit for what you want and what you need and how you need the information to come in. It just makes it a lot easier. What I tend to notice is that when spirits come in for me, I place them at different points in the room. So if I have one girl spirit over here, and then her uncle comes in, I look over here, and then if another person comes in, I'll put them down here. So in this way, I keep the spirits separated. Because if you don't, you can kind of get like their energies all mixed in. So I will actually be like, okay, I'm here with this girl, I'm here with this man, and I'm here with this aunt. And then I kind of keep it separate, and then I will ask questions. I'll go back to the girl to ask questions, I'll go back to the uncle to ask questions, and I'll go back to the aunt to ask questions. And that keeps it organized and separate, and so you don't get energies all kind of mixed together, because it's like a big family party. Everybody wants to come, and sometimes it's like you don't know who's talking, who's saying what. So I keep it organized, and the spirit world knows I keep it organized, so they kind of follow suit. They know what I'm doing. They know if I'm looking over here, if I'm looking over there. They know that that's what works for me. So they will get to know your style, and they'll get to know what works for you. And it's fun. It's fun to come up with all these different styles and all these different systems, so you're going to pick what works for you and what's fun for you. And, it's just really, it's just exciting. It's exciting work. And, you just want to take your time and take all these things into consideration. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Okay? Have a great day.